What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Six Pack News Cycle. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, and who will be with me every week, is Michael Plant. What's up, man?
Not much, just ready to, not necessarily break news, but discuss some news quickly with you.
Yep. Guys, this is just going to be a shorter video. We're going to come to you once, twice, maybe, even maybe 3 times a week. Just
if you're lucky.
When breaking news or just news pops in, we're going to go ahead and do a video, a short 5 to 10 minute video, and talk about the news. So what do you say we jump right into it, Mike?
Let's jump right into this breaking news that we got today, Dylan. I know you were waiting on this one.
Yes, we finally got the news that Deshaun Watson has been suspended for 11 games by the NFL and was also fined by $5 million.
That's a hell of a fine.
I don't know about when he's making that much money, how much $5 million is, but
it's not. But $5 million is a lot. I mean, I compare it to what the owner for the Dolphins got. He got $1 million fine.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, that's big.
Jumping right into the fantasy perspective of things, with knowing the games, the suspension length being 11 games, are you comfortable drafting Watson as a late round quarterback target?
First of all, redraft? Hell no. He pretty much has little to zero value right now because 11 games, we got 13 regular season games, 14, I believe we may have upgraded because of the new regular season game. But yeah, that's just way too much time you're missing with him. Redraft, little to no value at all. Dynasty, he has some value. You might be able to, get him for next year if you're rebuilding. Best ball, man, I can't see him making a huge push in the playoffs when we need him. He's going to be rusty. He's not going to be practicing with the team. So for this year, I look at him I look at him as the worst version of DK Metcalf because I've been down in DK all year. Like, I am downing Deshaun all year redraft value. Like, he pretty much only has value in Dynasty.
Okay, let me ask you this. Are you going to think about targeting him later in the season as perhaps a trade target just for insurance at the quarterback position when you're heading into playoffs?
It's not a bad idea. It's never a terrible idea to have 3 quarterbacks, especially if you're in a Superflex Dynasty League or, just a regular 1 QB league. But there is just too much uncertainty there because this is a new quarterback to a new team. He still needs to build that chemistry. He's had a little bit of time in training camp. And, he got some work in the preseason game, but we saw him in the preseason game. It wasn't very good. There's still work that needs to be done, and it's not going to be happening in those 11 weeks.
Right, man. We saw the rust, I would say, the first week of preseason when he started. But yeah, now jumping over to the running game in this offense now. I'm curious to see with the news with Watson, Jacoby Brissett is the perceived starting quarterback now. So maybe
don't worry, you got Josh Rosen behind him.
Maybe they run it more. Maybe there's more volume coming. But maybe he sees more stacked fronts now. What have you done with Nick Chubb in your rankings since you heard the news?
Well, I mean, his whole issue and his bugaboo was a volume aspect and the PPR. He doesn't get much involved in the passing game. But when we're looking at Chubb, like I said, the volume is an aspect of his fantasy production. And if we do, kind of predict an uptick in volume, I did move him up 1 spot in my rankings. So he went from 14 to 13 just based on the volume alone. He ended up passing up. I ended up moving Zeke down just a little bit, just honestly out of age and usage with Zeke. But I bumped him up a spot, but temper expectations. Like you said, he's going to be seeing a lot of loaded boxes. And same with Kareem Hunt. I mean, Kareem Hunt, his value is in the passing game. If this team is projected to be down a lot with Brissett, I think maybe Kareem Hunt maybe gets boosted a spot or 2 up, but nothing more.
Yeah, I tend to agree with pretty much everything you said. So then the last thing we just want to touch here is the pass catchers in this offense. I know you and I weren't high on Amari Cooper to begin with, but what does this news do to his fantasy value now?
Oh, I'm sure Joe is just dancing in his grave right now with Amari Cooper on his Warrior Bowl fantasy team with Brissett throwing more passes to him. But, this is not good for Amari Cooper. I know I joke and I kid, but, I mean, he is the number one option in Cleveland, which, somebody's got to throw the ball. It's the argument with Brandon Cooks in Houston. But these are going to be just terrible targets, guys, from Jacoby Brissett. He's a comparable quarterback to be, starting for him, but by no means is he – I don't even consider him a game manager at this point. I mean, you look at somebody like Joe Flacco, who's the backup to Zach Wilson. We actually got more excited with Joe Flacco possibly being in the lineup.
Right.
Jacoby Brissett, everything's kind of tempering down except the run game. So I kind of moved Amari Cooper down about 4 spots. He was at 33. Now he's at 37.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't want anything to do with Amari Cooper, but I do like the value of David Njoku. Brissett, like you said, isn't great, but when quarterbacks tend to struggle, they kind of look towards the tight end because he's in the middle of the field. They're going to want him to be involved in this offense after just giving him the bag, man, this offseason. Yeah. So I still think if you wait on tight end real late, and if you land on David Njoku, it could definitely be worse.
It could be worse. He's going to be touchdown dependent. There's not going to be a whole lot of volume there, but it could be a whole hell of a lot worse.
Okay. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Mike, you want to take us out?
All right. This was fun. First episode. Many more to come because we know there's breaking news every week in the NFL. So expect more of these episodes to come out here shortly. They're just going to be short little episodes. This will probably be the longest one we have. But it's an intro. We want you guys to know what we're doing.
Yep, still working out the kinks.
Yep, still working out the kinks. But like Dylan said in the beginning of the video, we're going to be coming at you about 2-3 times a week, probably. Depending on how the news breaks. But definitely look out for us in the future. But
thanks
for everybody here at the F6P News Cycle. I'm Mike. He's Dylan. Have a great day.
See you guys.